This man woke up at his own funeral, and what's really interesting is that his neighbors have seen it, and they say that this isn't the first time that this happened. As a result, everyone in his village thinks that he is immortal, so they took things to the extreme by testing his alleged immortality, and they did it by actually burning his entire house down. But here's where things get crazy, because even though he suffocated because of the smoke, and his body suffered tons of burns, after some time he managed to get up and walk like nothing happened. So is he really immortal, or has he just been lucky this whole time?
My name is Ismael Azizi. I am 40 years old and live in Ukelewe, Tanzania, where I was born.
Ismael didn't grow up with a wealthy family, and although he was born with a lot of siblings, right now he lives alone. Yet despite being alone, Ismael still dreamed of becoming wealthy, so he depended on himself and kept working hard. But little did Ismael know that his life was about to take an unexpected turn, because on one fateful day he got into an accident that changed his life forever.
Everyone who saw it thought my life was over.
Paramedics rushed Ismael to the hospital, but it was too late. Doctors declared him dead on arrival, and they later told his family the horrifying and shocking news. Ismael's body was then taken to the morgue, and that's where the unimaginable happened.
But I woke up again, feeling very cold. Fortunately, the morgue wasn't closed, and it was a place where people were laid, not locked in a box alone.
Not remembering what just happened, Ismael got up from the morgue and walked. Yet he was really surprised to see a lot of nurses and medical personnel stare at him with haunting and shocked looks on their faces. Because of this, doctors immediately called his family so that they'd pick him up and take him home. Yet even though his relatives celebrated that he survived, many people couldn't comprehend how Ismael had survived such an accident. But little did they know that this was just the beginning. Sometime after this incident, Ismael was rushed to the hospital yet again as he was diagnosed with malaria. His condition completely worsened, and it got so bad to the point that doctors had to rush him to the ER, but they just couldn't save him. Ismael was declared dead once again as his vitals flatlined. Although stricken with grief, his family had no choice but to accept it, so they prepared his funeral. Ismael's body was loaded onto his casket, and the ritual to his funeral was well underway. Yet to everyone's surprise, Ismael suddenly woke up from inside the coffin, completely scaring his relatives and his visitors.
I woke up and realized I was alive. They couldn't believe it, because this was the second time it had happened.
Because of this, people thought that Ismael was either really lucky or that he's probably hiding a dark secret. Ismael claimed that his hometown had a ton of witches around, so his neighbors immediately assumed that he might be one. Because of this, people treated him like a witch, and here's when his neighbors did the unthinkable.
People came to my house, claiming I was a great witch in our area, and set the house on fire.
Trapped inside, Ismael couldn't escape. As a result, he wasn't able to breathe, and although some people tried to help him, it was too late. He died due to suffocation, and although some of his friends started to grieve, his family started to believe that Ismael is different. And as his family predicted, Ismael woke up from the morgue yet again and walked out of the hospital under his own strength. Yet this time, he suffered a lot of burn marks on his skin. But despite these unbelievable events, perhaps the craziest thing about all of this is that Ismael has never done anything bad to anyone. So for his neighbors to burn his house down out of either fear or curiosity was definitely uncalled for. Yet regarding Ismael's curious case, other people were quick to point out that it's possible that the doctor's equipments from the hospital might have been broken or outdated, causing inaccurate readings. Until today, no one can explain Ismael's miraculous feats of staring death in the face and coming out on top. But what do you think?